is a unique look into the 19th century, end of the 19th century, colonial Africa, and in particular now the Shona people in present-day Zimbabwe.
I'm a dramatist, so I felt the need to explore my own Zimbabwean identity and the identity of the country as a whole, the only way I know how, which is through dramatic writing.
From a human, emotional point of view, we become very attached to this young woman's story, and also to her mentor, Chilford, who was a black catechist. And we see, not on an intellectual level, but on an emotional, visceral level, what it is to struggle with the culture. That is, you have Jekasai, or Esther, escaping the uncle who wants to basically, for a bride price, marry her off for the money and some goats, to become the 10th wife of an old man. And she just, no, she can't do it. And her aunt helps her escape, and she ends up in this black catechist's house. And what's marvelous is you see, it cost him a lot to do it, but he has become a Catholic, and he's given up his family and his culture to do that. She decides to do the same thing because it will save her from a life worse than death in her mind. She's clearly brilliant. She's clearly beautiful. She is Danai Gurira. She is an extraordinary human being who goes, no, that can't happen to me. I immediately connect to her. We all will connect to her because we know if we were in that situation, we hope we'd do the same thing. Now, what happens to a young soul like that who's caught between cultures, sees the good in Western culture and the good in her own culture and the bad in her own culture and the bad in the Western culture? What happens to that person? It's a question I've had all my life, studying, world history and politics and geography. What is that, being on the other side of that? And Danai shows us.
Zimbabwe, which was called Rhodesia, or Southern Rhodesia, became a colony. That inciting incident of the concept of ownership and the concept of cultural identity, the concept of right and wrong and moral ideals and all these things that totally still flood who we are today. I
go to the theater not just to have myself reflected back at me. I go to the theater also to be transported to some place I've never been. And this play transports me to some place I've never been.